For 5 years straight, they accidentally forgot my birthday. No calls, no cake, nothing. This year, I showed up with my own cake. My sister opened the door, looked me in the eye, and said, "Sorry, you have the wrong house," before slamming the door. Hours later, Mom texted, "We told her fiancé." Hey everyone, before we kick off today's video, I've got a favor to ask. We've noticed our channel isn't getting as much love lately, and subscribing is one of the easiest ways you can help us out. It's quick, free, and it means we can keep bringing you awesome content. Your support really means a lot, so let's work together to keep this channel growing. Thanks a bunch. Now, let's dive into the video. So here's the deal. You don't exist. We couldn't let him see you, was what my mom texted me. I texted back, "Got it." I went ahead and froze their bank accounts, blocked the wedding cash flow, and then dropped a package off at my sister's fiancé's place. The cake was heavy, but it wasn't as heavy as the feeling I had in my stomach. I found myself standing on my sister's doorstep, my breath visible in the chilly air, heart racing like I'd just finished a marathon. The cake was chocolate with fancy gold lettering saying my name, and it had 32 candles on it, marking a birthday I had no desire to celebrate anymore. Still, I showed up, cake in hand, and palms all sweaty 'cause I knew what was coming. I'd known it for 5 long years. 5 years without a call, not even the laziest happy birthday on Facebook. Just never-ending silence. Yet every December 9th, I'd pick up my phone, always making excuses like maybe they're busy, maybe they forgot. But not this year. This year, I brought the cake, and when my sister opened the door, she looked at me like I was a ghost, holding a wine glass and dressed all fancy. Her eyes darted from the cake to my face, and she just said, "Sorry, wrong house," and slammed the door. I stood there for a moment, almost laughing at how unreal it all felt. Instead, I walked back to my car with my heart pounding even harder. I hadn't even driven off the block when my phone buzzed. It was Mom, with a simple text, "We told her fiancé you don't exist." I didn't cry or throw a fit. I just texted back, "Understood." Then I pulled over and got into our shared wedding account, freezing everything, blocking all the transfers, and flagging every transaction. If they wanted me to be invisible, fine, but they wouldn't see this coming. Just to be thorough, I mailed her fiancé a little something extra they didn't want him to see. My name's Caleb. I'm 32, and apparently I'm the odd one out in my family, the one they don't introduce at parties. Not because I'm some danger or have done anything unforgivable, but because I didn't play along with their charades. I was the kid who didn't think Dad shouting was normal, who didn't laugh at Uncle Rick's lousy jokes, who turned down a business school offer because I didn't want to be tied to their legacy firm. Instead, I became a freelance developer and ran a successful business from my laptop. They hated it because I thrived without them, because I didn't need them, and most importantly, because I stopped pretending they were these amazing people. Birthdays were the beginning of their games. The first year they forgot, the second year was full of excuses, and by the third year it was like, "It's just a day, Caleb." By the 5th year, I gave up on expecting anything, stopped logging onto social media, just went about my day with cheap sushi, waiting for the guilt that never came. Meanwhile, my sister Eva would get these elaborate celebrations for her half-birthday. Champagne towers, string quartets, the works. When I asked Mom if she remembered my birthday, she'd go, "Oh, was that today?" with zero irony. The real kicker wasn't just being forgotten, it was how they rallied around Eva like she was the golden child, editing me out of pictures, family events, and even vacation plans. When Eva got engaged last year to this finance dude named Lucas, who looked like a model straight out of a Rolex ad, I congratulated her, but she never replied. Still, I helped from the shadows, being the responsible one, the invisible banker. They had no idea that a big chunk of their wedding fund was from me. I set it up months back when Mom hinted they were short on cash for deposits. I didn't do it for a thank you. I did it because I knew how they like to maintain those picture-perfect appearances. I was willing to bankroll their facade if it meant a small reprieve from their endless guilt trips. But when Eva shut the door in my face and Mom sent that text, something snapped. They'd erased me to save face, rewritten our history just to look good to strangers. They straight up told me I didn't matter, but I mattered now. I didn't just freeze their wedding funds, I accessed the entire planning account and started unraveling everything. Emails, transactions, receipts that traced everything I'd paid for, under the guise of anonymous family donations. So, there I was, scrolling through my credit card statement, and boom! There's this charge from some vendor I didn't recognize. Even the florist had my initials scribbled in their books. But that's just the beginning. I opened up another folder on my comm. Puter, full of screenshots from last summer. These are messages that Eva, my friend, probably thought were long forgotten. There was this panicked text from her at midnight, asking me to loan her $4,000 because she, accidentally opened a credit card in her boyfriend Lucas's name to cover rent. I bailed her out, but on one condition. She had to come clean to Lucas. She promised she would, but, spoiler alert, she didn't. So I took all this juicy info, wrapped it up in a nice PDF, and cheekily named it "A Few Things Lucas Might Want to Know Before the Wedding." Then I tacked on a photo from last Thanksgiving. It's funny, they had told me the family gathering was going to be intimate this year, so I was left out. Later, a friend who's dating my cousin sent me a group photo from that night. Everyone was there, having a blast, wine in hand, and guess who was cozy on Lucas's lap? Eva. Oh, and taped to the fridge in the background was a printout of my old Instagram photo with "Do Not Mention" scrawled across it in Sharpie. Naturally, I sent this all to Lucas and tracked the shipping, waiting for it to hit. And wouldn't you know it, Lucas called me at 2:13 a.m. His first words were, "Tell me everything." It was one of those unknown numbers that make your heart race, popping up in the dead of night. I was tucked in bed, still warm from having my laptop on my lap, hoping to sleep through my birthday without any new embarrassments. I picked up, and there was Lucas, calm, too calm, like someone staring at the ruins of something once beautiful. So I met Lucas at a low-key cafe later. He ditched his usual fancy watch and jacket for a hoodie and jeans, looking like a guy who just walked away from a disaster. He cut to the chase. Eva had painted me as unstable and unpredictable, claiming I'd ghosted the family due to some mysterious trauma, and that I was jealous of her life. I was unbothered. I'd heard worse. Lucas said Eva warned him against contacting me, claiming it'd reopen old wounds. He saw right through it, though, realizing my envelope wasn't about old wounds, it was about cleaning house. I slid another folder his way, packed with everything he hadn't seen yet. Email chains, where I'd covered for expenses under fake names, a florist note with "balance paid by CH" scribbled on it, and invoices from the planner marked "Anonymous Donor." The kicker was Eva's SOS text from August. "Hey, can you wire $4,000? I screwed up. Don't tell Lucas." Lucas read through it all in silence, closing the folder with trembling fingers. Eva had spun tales about me bailing on their engagement dinner due to my jealousy. I cracked up. She'd sent me the wrong date. I'd shown up a week early, sat at the restaurant for 45 minutes before figuring it out. Lucas's jaw tightened at that. I explained how Eva had gaslit me for ages, crafting a world where I didn't exist, using him as the latest pawn. Lucas leaned back, digesting it all. That evening, Lucas sent out a mass email to everyone involved in the wedding. Over 180 people got the news. The wedding was off, thanks to lies and secrets. He attached my entire file as proof, putting Eva's family in the hot seat to explain. The family chat blew up. Relatives I hadn't heard from in ages were texting me, shocked. Dude, I had no idea. And Caleb, I'm sorry. That's messed up. They'd been fed stories about me just vanishing. The calls started pouring in. From Mom, from Eva, even my aunt. But I wasn't ready to dive into all that, so I let them go to voicemail. At least for now. So there I was, staring at my screen, seeing a message pop up saying something like, "You didn't have to go this far. You've destroyed us. Are you happy now?" I just typed back, "No, I'm not happy. I'm just free." And boom, another message hit my inbox almost instantly. We told Eva's fiancé what we had to. We were just trying to protect the family. So I shot back with, "You erased me for appearances. I exposed you for the truth." Then I noticed my dad on the security camera outside my apartment, pacing back and forth, super angry, and slamming the buzzer like a madman. I hit the intercom and he barked, "Caleb, let me in. We need to talk." I just said calmly, "No." He kept going, "Your mother is in tears. Eve's not eating. She's humiliated." And I was like, "I didn't humiliate her. She did that herself, and you just helped her hide the secret." He called me vindictive, but I cut him off, saying, "No, I've always been quiet. You never expected me to speak up." He hit the glass in frustration and yelled, "You're not part of this family anymore." I just smiled, although he couldn't see it, and whispered, "Finally, some truth." He left, and I slept through the night for the first time in forever. They tried to act like nothing happened, but I wasn't done yet. Lucas sent that email, and it was like a bomb going off in their world. The wedding was called off, and they lost all those non-refundable deposits on the venue. Florists were calling them out on Instagram for bounced checks, and the caterer was threatening to take them to court. Eva's bridesmaids ditched her so fast, it was like a digital ghost town in their group chats. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Lucas wasn't just some finance dude with a good jawline. He was connected. His family owned a mid-sized investment firm with ties to half the wedding vendors they were using. So when he backed out, others followed suit. Within 3 days, Eva's name was like kryptonite in the wedding industry. The calls started coming in. "Mom, we need to talk." But I didn't answer. "Dad, you've made your point. Come fix this." Fix what? Their fake, perfect life? No thanks. They tried to spin it to relatives as a misunderstanding, claiming Lucas overreacted and that I twisted things. But it was too late. The paper trail was too loud for their lies to drown out. Then came the real kicker. That shared family bank account they were using for the wedding? Yeah, I was the administrator. I froze it as soon as Mom texted, "You don't exist." Then I took back every dollar that was mine, legally. Eva tried to say it was theft, but the bank had the receipts. Her name wasn't even on the account. The meltdown was epic. They lost over $18,000, couldn't pay the decorator, and had to refund guests who prepaid for destination weddings. They still blamed me, though. "You're being cruel," Mom texted. "Eva is heartbroken." I replied, "Heartbroken people apologize." She even sent a cease and desist letter. Yep, Eva tried to sue me for defamation. Her fiancé left her, her vendors blacklisted her, and somehow I was the bad guy for telling the truth. The letter was a joke. My lawyer, a buddy from college who owed me a favor, laughed when he read it and replied, "Bring it, we're ready." Eva didn't follow through, but Lucas's mom did reach out. She sent me Tuss, his handwritten letter on real stationery, thanking me. She said she always suspected something was off but didn't know how deep the lies went until she read my file. She sent me a $10,000 check, not out of pity or charity, just respect. I didn't cash it, but framed it instead. As for my family, everything fell apart quickly. Dad lost a big contract with one of Lucas's connections, and his circle of friends started keeping their distance. Mom tried to rebuild her reputation, but it's tough when everyone in your social circle has seen the screenshots of you lying to your kid for years. And Eva, well, she crumbled. She posted this breakup announcement on social media, using all the usual cliches about growing apart and sending love to everyone. The comments were brutal. People wrote things like, "He left you because your family lied about having a brother," and "Where's the cake, though?" Then someone leaked the whole story on Reddit, and it blew up. It got like 20,000 upvotes. People called it the ultimate sibling revenge. One commenter said, "This is what happens when the family scapegoat stops playing nice." Then about a month after everything went down, Eva showed up at my door. No makeup, eyes puffy, shoulders slumped, holding a Tupperware container. "Mom made cake," she said. I raised an eyebrow and she added, "We owe you one. Thought maybe we could talk." I didn't say anything. She continued, "I messed up. I believed them about you, about everything. I thought you were just angry for no reason." Her eyes filled with tears. I let them. Can you believe it? Even after my family tried to erase me from existence, they still paid for my wedding. I remember looking at this container of carrot cake, which, by the way, is my least favorite. I didn't care about the cake. All I wanted was a genuine apology. When I asked for it, she nodded and said she was sorry. I believed her, but I wasn't ready to let her back into my life. I told her to come back when she figured out how to build a relationship that doesn't involve hiding who I am. I closed the door softly. So unlike the way she used to slam it shut on me. Later that night, I chucked the cake in the trash and poured myself a drink. Not to celebrate, but to finally breathe. For the first time in years, I wasn't mad or hurt. I wasn't that invisible person standing on the outskirts of family photos. I was finally free. It's been 7 months since I stood on Eva's porch with a birthday cake I made myself, and she told me I had the wrong house. 7 months since my own mother texted me saying I didn't exist. 7 months since I wiped away my guilt, just like they tried to erase me. People often say revenge is bittersweet, but I don't agree. It felt like necessary relief, like finally pulling shards of glass from a wound and letting it heal. I'm not mentioned by my family anymore, or at least not publicly. A mutual friend told me they ran into my dad at some event, and he only talked about my sister, Eva. But that's okay. I don't need their lies to support my truth anymore. I moved to a new city and got myself a cozy 2-bedroom house in the mountains. It's peaceful, no big banners, no family brunches filled with whispers, just me, my work, and my adorable rescue dog named Java. In that peace, I've found clarity. I don't regret a thing. Not the documents I shared, not the money I locked down, not the truths I yanked out of their dusty closets. If anything, I wish I'd done it all owner. For so long, I was trying to earn their unconditional love, respect, and acknowledgement by showing up to birthdays, funerals, and Sunday dinners, hoping one day they'd realize I was part of the family. But I wasn't. I was just a convenience, someone to blame when things went wrong. When I stopped playing that part, their world crumbled. Not because I destroyed it, but because I stopped holding it together. A month ago, I got an envelope in the mail with no return address. Inside, there was a photo of me at 9, blowing out birthday candles with Eva beside me. Mom was behind the cake, and Dad was filming us, all smiles. On the back was a note in shaky handwriting saying, "We lost something that day. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was us. I'm sorry." There was no signature, but I didn't need one. I burned the photo in my fireplace, not out of anger, but because that little boy who used to beg for scraps of love at a table where the seats were always taken doesn't exist anymore. I built my own table, And now it's surrounded by people who genuinely care about me. Friends who don't flinch at my past, colleagues who respect my work without questioning my family background, and a partner I met recently who understands my story and doesn't downplay it. A while back, Eva emailed me with just the subject line, "Do you hate me?" I didn't respond, not because I hate her, but because hate takes too much energy. I've forgiven them, not for their sake, but for mine. Anger is a heavy load, and I'm creating something beautiful here that doesn't need extra baggage. Recently, I celebrated my birthday for the first time in years with friends who know my story. I made my own cake, vanilla with bourbon buttercream, thank you very much. There were candles, laughter, and no awkward questions about my family. They already knew the answer. My family isn't the one I was born into. It's the one I've surrounded myself with. When I blew out those candles, I didn't wish for their love or an apology. I just wished for more days like this, where I can live fully, loudly, and unapologetically. It turns out I was never the problem. I was just the mirror they couldn't stand to look at. And although they tried to break me, I didn't shatter. I sharpened and grew stronger. And now, I'm no longer invisible. I completely reclaimed my life.